No, I can't see you. Where are you? Just kidding. I didn't see you.
Nice one.
Nice one. He's starting off hot today, folks. He's bringing the fire. How are you
Uh-huh.
doing?
Great. How about you?
Couldn't be better. I could be better, but that's not neither here nor there. I don't know how closely you're following. Let's see. I'm recording. Good. Uh like the border wall that they're building in Big Bend. Um but the Big Bend's in my backyard, kind of, as a Texan. I don't know if you know, I live in Texas.
Wait,
Um, and
Big
so,
Ben. I'm Despite the fact that I ride my bike a lot, I am not exactly sure where Big Bend is.
oh wow, yeah, Google it real fast. It's um, it's like 1.3 million acres of public land on the far western side of Texas. It's essentially the border between Texas and Mexico on the Rio Grande, and I think one of the prettiest places in the world if you like desert environments.
Oh, wow. I'm gonna have to go there sometime. That looks beautiful.
I know. I think you should. I actually, I don't know if you know, but I host my own race series called the Texas Showdown Series, and it's 3 parts. So it starts in East Texas, then we have a race in Central Texas, and then we have a race in West Texas that's in Big Bend. And I was going to wait to the end of the podcast, but I'd love to give you a free invitation and invite you out to any of my races sometime. So if you ever want to come to Texas, I'd love to have you.
That'd be super rad. Yeah. I like the only experience I have with Texas is one of my friends moved down there and that my dad one time was traveling through and went to bed on what he thought was the middle of nowhere and woke up to somebody being like, "What are you doing on my property?"
Yeah. Was
Mhm.
he cycling?
He he was hitchhiking and ended
Oh,
up in Texas somehow, just
okay.
adventuring.
So it's
I'm
probably
not
back in the day.
Yeah,
Um,
this was before I was born, like
gotcha.
mhm.
Yeah, that's one. I don't know how familiar you are with Texas, but we only have like less than 3% of all of Texas is private land. And so like it's one of the challenges of like recreating outdoors here is that like you're often going to be on somebody's private property. And the fucked up thing, oh, sorry, cussing. The messed up thing about Texas is that they have, this is so messed up. I even hate saying it, but if you're trespassing on somebody's property, they legally have the right to shoot you dead. Like no questions asked, and like they will go to court and the court will say it's all fine, buddy.
Wow,
So like
okay,
you
the
can't
part I
mess
left
around with that in Texas, dude. It's so messed up.
Dang, because the part I left out about that was that he woke up to the owner pointing a gun at him, like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me. I hate that. Sorry everybody, but that's also I would say the value in like if you're gonna go Texas and go bikepacking or adventuring, like go on vetted routes. Like, you know, if you go on any of my routes, I can promise you you're gonna be good. There's a lot of other people out there making routes, but yeah, it's no joke, man. It's
yeah.
kind of crazy.
Dude,
Yeah.
this looks nuts. There's so much in here.
Yeah, it's wild, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah, so my West Texas showdown is in Big Bend and it's December 4th through the 6th this year. And I have a feeling that would interfere with your school schedule, but maybe you need another excuse to skip school.
Yeah, I normally I would be, like, pretty down for skipping school for big bike trap packing trips, but I'm not gonna have that opportunity this year. I'm gonna be doing some super rad schooling, so it'll be a lot more structured or, um, not structured, but I won't be able to just be like, "Alright, see you guys," because 'cause I'll be in the middle of France or in the middle of New Zealand or other places.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
it's super rad.
Well, why don't
I guess
you just
a little
you
bit
teed it
about it.
up? What are you doing with that?
Yeah. So, um, hello, mom. I can hear you back there.
Mom, hey mom.
Hi, mom. This is Patrick from Bikes for Death.
It's just oh, sorry, your place is
I can't see her. Hi mom.
oh, hello. Oh, no, you don't need
Oh,
to see
there.
me.
Yes, yes, hi. She's making her grand cameo appearance.
Okay.
That's how to, yeah.
No, you can come down here.
I got my
I
kid.
was
I
wondering.
have two daughters actually. I have a 17-year-old daughter. I think you're 17. I also have a 9-year-old daughter, and they're in the other room, so they might run back and forth behind my screen as well.
Yeah, don't tell my mom, which I can hear her still on the stairs, but I can hear her coming into my room and whatnot.
Like checking in. Hi, mom.
Hi.
Mom. Mom.
Oh, yes,
All
yes.
right, real
Sorry.
quick. What do you think of Cruz accomplishments?
Oh my gosh. Um, I'm just so proud of him. Obviously, like, I just I still think of the day when he was like, "Hey, I wanna do this race. It's like 400 miles." And just to, like, kinda didn't want to say no, like, "No, you can't do that." Like, you
Yeah.
think like and, but also kinda nervous about it and stuff, and
Really
then
nervous. Like,
That's fair.
really yeah, like, for example, one night he spent the night near, like, a zoo, this zoo thing,
oh,
and
okay. This was just me being unsmart too.
I know,
Okay.
but I know, so I hear like, "Oh, yeah, he slept next to the zoo." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool," and then later I realized, "Oh, wait, the
You know
zoo also
what's right
means
next to the zoo?
is the jail."
Oh
Or
my
like
gosh.
and so he had, like, been right next to the prison all night.
And you're just watching the dot and you're like, why is he next to a zoo and a prison?
Well, I don't even know this was the first race, so I don't know if I like, for some
This was
reason,
the first one I did too.
if I, like, didn't watch the dot as much or didn't quite understand, like,
Right.
watching the dot, so I just, like, didn't quite, like, get, like, where he was at, like, I didn't, like,
Yeah.
because the dot isn't necessarily show I don't know. I don't know,
Yeah.
but anyway, I was pretty nervous and kinda like, "Well, I guess we'll find out if he can do it or not," and then
Yeah.
it was like, "Oh, oh, he's finishing. Oh, he really."
He really did it.
Like, and not to, like, down but just yeah, it just seems so out there, like,
It
"Whoa,"
is
like,
out
I
there. Yeah.
and so, I think from that, we just kinda learned each one, it was like, "Really? Really?" But and then he did it, and he really seems to, like, be a finisher, like, he finds,
Right.
like right, I'll leave in a second, but one other one
No, yeah.
was in his freshman year.
I think he's digging this because I'm not
Yeah.
gonna give him that much information.
His freshman year in high school, here in Arizona, they have, like, a mountain biking, like, you can be a varsity mountain biker, or, like,
Hmm.
JV mountain biking, like, team and stuff, and so his freshman year, he was on the freshman team, and there was a race in Prescott, Arizona, and
Mhm.
he fell, and his bike got twisted up, and he didn't know how to, like, fix it,
This
so he rode, like,
it's
half the race, like, with
okay.
his handlebars this way
What
because his, like, bike was this way, and so he just, like,
so
rode and I thought it was awesome. Alright, I'll leave you with that.
Well, good job, mom. I think I have a 17-year-old daughter. I also have a 9-year-old daughter, and
Nice.
I can sympathize and empathize with the position you're in, where you're like you don't want to be the person that stifles your kid, and yet their safety is our purview, and
Mhm.
there's a delicate balance there, and I make it a point to try to interview some of the younger people in our sport doing really amazing things. He's one of like a growing number of like youth, and we got to also commend the parents for giving them the opportunity and kind of letting them go out there and having the bravery as parents to go out there and like send your kid off and be like, I love you, please don't die and be smart,
Yeah.
and so kudos to the parents too.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think, it's that balance of just, like, anything can happen any day too, like,
Yes.
yeah, I don't wanna, like, just plop them in a den of vipers, but I also, like, you know, bus could come by and get hit you, like,
I mean, I
or
always tell my kids like the dangerous thing you will ever do probably or on a day-to-day basis is drive
Mhm,
or be in a car. And so like, I always try to
mhm,
keep it in perspective. Like it's only like this whole world that we do is crazy because it's not like super common, but the
mhm.
more familiarity you get with it and the more experience you get, it becomes less crazy, if that makes sense, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I know people keep asking, "Oh, you must be so nervous about, like, for the really big race and, the Tour Divide," Um, and it's like, you kinda get used to it.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
and
awesome.
just
Well, good
that
to
big
meet you. Good job,
anyway,
mom.
you.
Yeah.
Alright.
It's got this little space in my room that every time I come back, it's always like open and she's just like hanging out in my room all the time,
Is that
pretty
because
much.
she probably just misses you because you're always gone riding your bike so much?
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, she actually left.
Oh, she actually
Um,
left. All right, now we can talk about her now. All right, so you were talking about your exciting school year you have ahead of you.
yeah. So it's called World Class Academy, and basically, like what they do is they have these. I'm actually super psyched about it because, well, for thousands of reasons. Number one, I get to ride my bike. Number two, I get to be in cool places. Number
Yeah.
three, I get to ride my bike again in cool places. And like school's gonna be rad and all this. But from the school perspective, it's like right now I had a few classes that I just sit in school and I'm just like, what am I doing in school? Like I
Right.
need to occupy my brain so I'm not like thinking about what I could be doing other than sitting in here wasting away right now. And so I had a few classes that I didn't have big workload in. So that was really annoying. Or any workload in.
Yeah.
So it would so hopefully I never get this in this academy. And then if I do get that, hopefully they're just like, oh yeah, Cruz, go ride your bike if you want. Um, and so so how it works is it's different. I've never really done downhill before, but this is kind of more enduro based.
Oh, cool.
So I'm gonna fly to France in 3 days now, actually.
Whoa.
And there, I'm gonna wake up every day, do school until the afternoon, and then in the after the afternoon, I'm gonna ride my bike. And then I'm gonna do that for um for that quarter, come back, and then go to Slovenia. No, I'm pretty sure the next one is. I'm almost 100% sure Slovenia, and then after that, um, New Zealand, and then South Africa,
Wow.
and then like split into different quarters, and so it's gonna be rad. And the next one is indeed Slovenia. I know that.
Okay.
Um,
So is this a program that your high school has, or is this something completely different that you had to like sign up for?
this is like a separate academy, like it's a separate school, and I heard about it because they have kayaking academies, and one of my family friends did it, and so they were like, "Yeah, it's super rad." Um,
So when I was in high school, I was a pretty good tennis player, and at 14, my coach wanted me to drop out of regular high school and go to like a tennis academy where it was like school and tennis, and it's like preparatory to maybe like going pro or excelling in tennis. Is that the same like career track minded vision of like this academy?
kind of. I think it's a little bit more like chillax. Like you you can take it that step further,
Right.
but really it's just an excuse to go ride your bike in these cool places. Um,
Man, the one thing I'm learning about you in a very short amount of time is you're good at talking your parents into things.
it took a long time to get to that. Well, it was kind of funny because how it started. Um, well, here I'll actually start at the very top because
Hit me.
it gets a little bit sad, but then it gets happy.
Okay.
So so my family friend, the son did it, and then the other son did it in the kayaking academy, and he got stuck under a water under the current took him under, and it was kind of a freak accident, and he died.
No. Oh God.
But my dad heard about it and knew about it before, but kind of really considered the opportunity, like, oh dang, Cruz could do this for mountain biking too. And so then my dad was kind of like said, "Hey, Cruz, you want to do this?" And I was like, "You know what? That actually sounds rad." And then he was actually kind of genuinely thinking about like, what if I did send my son there? And
Yeah.
so then, uh, so now I'm here and I feel good because I'm gonna be able to live and kind of explore and honor my friend's memory and also do cool stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah,
No, that's awesome, man. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but that will be an exciting
mm,
adventure. Have you been out of the country before?
yeah, I've been to Mexico and I've been to Ireland. So yeah,
Yeah,
pretty. I like Mexico a lot. Very
I do
fun.
too. What part of Mexico have you been to? It's my favorite place so far.
I've been to Rocky Point and I've been to um La Paz,
La
San
Paz.
Carlos,
Oh yeah.
and the other towns near La Paz. Like I actually we only flew into Los Cabos, but there and the town on the other side, yeah, just the
Yeah.
towns around there.
Well, I'm
But
excited for you. One thing I picked up from your just researching for this podcast. One thing I'll just interject is one thing I really enjoy is when I get to interview people where there's so little information. For people who don't know, you don't have any social media. You flew under my radar for a little bit, and I get excited because I'm like, oh, I don't even know what I'm walking into, you know. Whereas like there's some people you can read, you know, books and books and books. Um, but one thing I learned while I was researching is that you didn't seem to be a big fan of school, which is fair. I'm actually a high school dropout. School and I did not mesh very well. And my parents actually, when I was 17, and they were like, "Do you want to drop out?" And I'm like, "I do want to drop out." And so I never even
wow,
finished high school. Um, but so I guess I'm happy. This is like a major shift from like, are you going into your junior year?
I'm going into my senior year.
Senior year. Okay,
Yeah,
so you're almost done.
yeah. So like, school for all of my friends started a little while ago, so they're actually slaving away in school right now. But
Nice. Yeah, my
um,
kids, my kids start tomorrow. Go ahead.
all of them already had their fun classes too, which I would like to touch on that because I think because like while I was in regular school, I had a lot of fun. It just I didn't have fun when I wasn't learning. Like I feel like I love to learn.
Yeah.
I don't like when in school and I'm not learning, and I feel like I could go ride my bike, but I
Right.
can't because I have to sit here to check a box.
Well, I
Make
think
sense?
it's fair. Yeah, I mean, again, I was a high school dropout, and the thing that my parents said to me when they sat me down at the table is they said, "Patrick, we don't think you're being challenged enough in high school, and we think that's, you know, contributing to, you know, a lack of interest in like performance." And so I got my GED and went straight to college, and then I didn't finish that either. It turns out me and school just weren't ever really a good match, but I do think. Um, I always struggled. Like when I was a high school student, I remember thinking people I don't know, people who don't know me got together and decided X, Y, and Z are the things that I need to know to be a successful human being. But how is that possible if they don't know me? You know, and like I was having all these like existential crises about just like the structure of at least the United States school system. Yeah, it just I find it to be lacking in a lot of ways. I also recognize that it's hard to teach that many people, and you're not gonna like come up with one school program that like adequately services and educates everybody equally because we all come to school unequally. So I recognize it's challenging, but I can also sympathize with some of the
Yeah.
sounds like some of the personal struggles you had with it.
Yeah, because I've had amazing teachers, and yeah, I don't know.
Well,
I
good.
think there's a mix of both in my lack of in my boredom in some classes and in my absolute fun and complete enjoyment of other classes.
Well, good. I'm glad we set the record straight because, yeah, if you just read the articles, it might seem like you really hated school, but that's not exactly the true story.
That's so funny because I would be like, "Dude, we gotta go to school, like, we gotta go to school today, like, come on, guy." Yeah, and I wanna look up myself later.
You're gonna look yourself up. Yeah, I mean, there's only two. There's the bikepacking.com. I mean, the title for your bikepacking.com article was like, "I get to miss school. How do I sign up?" So even the title of that article was, pointing to the direction of not loving school.
That's very interesting. Yeah, Pinions and Pines is always perfectly placed because it's like at the end of the year, one class you're doing absolutely nothing in, and the next class you're like slammed for homework, and like if you miss like 2 minutes, you're behind. But then and so it's perfectly placed where we have this one day at school where they have like a big gathering, and I don't have to go to that because I'm riding my bike. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's very
It's not a
mhm.
yeah. It's like, I mean, when you get older, it'll just be your job. You're like, I could be going to my job right now, or I could be out riding my bike. And when you put it in that context, riding your bike, no matter what you're doing, is always going to be better every
Yeah.
time. Well, we got to meet your mom, but I am curious. I'm curious about like your family life. Did you grow up like in an outdoorsy family? You kind of mentioned some of your dad's adventures earlier on when we were chatting. And I'm wondering just how your family life maybe contributed to you becoming like such an adventurous person.
Okay. So let me grab my sticky note because
Okay.
my mom heard me last time and was like, "Wait a minute, you didn't actually start this until then, and you
Okay.
started way earlier."
All right. Let's hear
Because
it.
so I learned to ride my bike like every other kid, and then my best friend's dad created this thing called flyers, and so I was part of the original six to do this biking program that eventually now has like over thousands of kids and helps people ride and does all that, helps put people on bikes. Um, that like that type of mission.
Yeah.
So I was one of the first six in that. That's like where I really got into riding my bike. Um, and then from so that's how I started riding my bike. But the adventure part came from just hearing about my dad and reading like when you read a story about um anything. For example, I don't know why I'm blanking on everything right now. You know that book um
It's because you're on a
about
podcast. It
God.
happens to me all the time. I'm like, it's funny. I'll have a brain freeze like when I'm on the podcast, and as soon as I hit like stop hitting record on the podcast, I'm like, oh yeah, that's the name of that person or whatever. So there's something about being on a podcast where it like messes up your brain. But
Yeah.
what book were you talking about?
It's the dude where the guy lost his arm and
Oh,
he was
27
trapped in.
hours? Like, or the James Franco, they made a movie out of it?
Yeah, but the book version. I haven't watched the movie, but either way, the book's super rad, and just I read that after I had done a few adventures, but if you ever read the book, it's like he starts with, like, day 1 or maybe, like, hour 1, and then he goes off into this adventure that he had, and then he goes back, and then it's just back and forth, and it's just like, you read the book, and I'm like, "Wow, this person just had adventure." He's, like, hunting adventure, and so, like, my dad would tell me these stories about when he went and mountaineered Mount Rainier, or he's got so many rad adventures. I don't wanna
Yeah.
misquote his adventures, but, like, he's done cool stuff, and I wanted to go hunt adventure. I wanted to go wake up and get scared
Yeah.
because a bear took my pocket knife, and all is left is the sheath um, that has bear scratch marks all over it. Or
Yeah.
I wanna, like, be filtering water and look up and see there's 2 moose in that field that are, like, right there. Or I wanna be sitting on the top of a pass on the Colorado Trail and look behind me and see these 2 moose that are just, like, walking up towards me, um, and have
Are you
that fear.
describing a real moment that happened on the
Yeah.
Colorado Trail? Okay.
Mhm. And all of that. So I just wanted to hunt the adventure, and bike packing was a way for me to to hunt that adventure.
Yeah. Did you grow up doing much like camping and adventuring with your dad, or had he done more of it like prior to you coming along?
So by ratio, he's done more before I came along, but we go on a lot of adventure together. Like, we've gone car camping. Like, before I did bike packing, we've gone car camping, we've gone backpacking. I would have these birthday trips. So, like, every birthday we'd go. I'd be like, "Hey, you wanna go backpack?" And he'd be like, "Sure." And we'd go for, like, a few nights somewhere. We would, um, just ride bikes, have fun,
Yeah, so he
classic
rides
dad
too.
fun stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did he ever do any bike packing or bike touring?
Nope. I brought him into that.
Okay, so now he's
Yeah.
doing it?
Um, I'm still trying to get him to do it. I tried to get him to do P&P one year, and he
Mhm.
rode, like, the first 100 miles of the course, and I was like, "I don't know if this is what I want. I don't know if this is very fun."
Which is, I will say, I'll just implant this right here. That is a
Mhm.
totally fine perspective for anybody to have. I think
Yeah.
like some people want to go ride for 400 miles and not sleep and eat gas station food and not take showers for days. Like for some people, like that whole thing is like very appealing. And for other people, they hit 100 miles or whatever and they're like, that's enough for me. And that's
Yeah.
fine too. Like, we don't need to glorify like you know, it's just
Yeah.
everybody enjoys it doing it differently, I guess.
Like, my dad's done some rad adventures. He just wasn't this wasn't his choice of
Right.
adventure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's so many great ways to adventure, and we just
Mhm.
find our own that works for us.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Let's see what else. So, yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you. When and how did bike packing come on your radar? And I'm also curious, like, Uh, you know, bike packing, I'm sure is still like a younger and a niche sport. Like 10 years ago, though, it was like much different than it is now. And I feel like it's becoming more mainstream. And so I'm kind of curious, even like from your perspective as a younger kid, if like bike packing is just more like visible now. But yeah, how did you come to find out about bike packing?
So, first, like, I live in Flagstaff, and Pinions and Pines is in Flagstaff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had been kind of hearing rumors about this race that changes every year, where you go and you camp out. And then one of my friends, Sarah Higgins, or like I knew Sarah Higgins, and Sarah was like, "All right, I'm gonna do this like this year." And whenever I'd see her at a race, that was what she was talking about. And I was like, "All right, I want to do this now." And so then I'd like really kind of invested in it, and all these people like came and helped me, and like this other amazing bike packer, Lee, helped like facilitate the growth, help convince my parents,
Mm.
and Dana helped me. Like in my first, Dana's the race coordinator.
Yeah.
My first one, I typed my email in wrong, and he actually texted the number and was like, "Hey, I think you put your email in wrong." And so that was awesome. And just like, yeah, I guess that's how I heard about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, where were you at in your like cycling and like outdoorsman journey versus like, okay, now I need to make the leap up to doing a almost 400-mile race, camping outdoors, all that kind of stuff? Was that like a big leap, or were you already pretty proficient on the bike and with outdoor stuff?
Proficient on the bike. Like I can ride my bike.
I can ride my
Um,
bike.
but it was definitely like my dad wouldn't just let me go and do it. Like I had to do, um, I pre-rode the entire course over different weekends in between school.
Okay.
Um, and that's how I proved to my dad, which then proved to my mom that I was able to do the whole thing.
Okay.
Um, I think my outdoorsman skills were not as good as I would like to say they were. I think they were pretty pretty basic, pretty like I know what to do if a bear comes, but not like not that much. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot to learn. What kind of discipline in cycling do you do the most? Do you come from like mountain biking or gravel, or like when you say, "Oh, I can ride a bike," like what vision pops in your head?
Like riding a technical trail.
Yeah.
Um, I definitely come from like a trail riding, just XC trail riding. That's definitely where what I've done the most of. Never done a downhill race. I hope that I never do a gravel race,
Why?
because gravel is bad for your health. It's called boring. I don't know if you've heard of
Bad
it.
for your mental health, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
I feel that. I am like I I would consider myself a mountain biker first. I mean, I guess I started with BMX riding when I was a kid, but then quickly got into mountain biking, but mountain biking in Texas is harder to come by. Like you live in Flagstaff where you're just like littered with amazing single track, and so yeah, I guess I can really like I do a lot of gravel riding, but it's almost like a necessity because like as we mentioned, there's so much like private land that
Yeah.
you just kind of have to ride gravel. But my heart certainly lies with trails, single track, mountain biking. The more technical, the better.
Yeah, dude. It's so much fun. I That is true. I am spoiled with my trail choices. Like right now I'm looking out and there's literally a trail right behind my backyard
Yeah.
that mhm.
What trail is
And
it?
it's I live right next to the jail right over there. I don't know. It's just some social trail back there.
Oh, you don't. Is it not one you go ride frequently?
No. I usually take the the other trail that's right next to my house to the better trails, which are slightly further away. So I actually don't ride the one that I'm looking at right now very
Oh,
often.
all
Just
right.
like right behind. I don't know. It's flat. I've got
What's
better
your
choice.
What is your better choice? What is your kind of like your home stomping ground, your home ride that you go do most frequently?
That's really interesting because it's kind of changed as the years go on. Like my dad's house sits right at the base of Eldon, and so all the trails are right there. And my buddy lives like right up the way. So I used to ride all the like Eldon trails in Fort Valley and Eldon. And now as I've gotten older, I'm starting to ride more of the other trails that are like ever so slightly further away from my house. And um and so like I don't know, there's this fun trail which used to be a social trail but now is becoming a legit trail called Private. That's always a fun descent. It's fun and it's got features that every time I ride the trail, I'm always like, look at this one feature, and I'm like, okay, it's very difficult and steep and hard. My friend says it's light work, but don't take it for it. It's pretty hard. Um, and there's that trail. There's Sunset. That's always just a fun straight ride. What else? There's Lost Dog, which is a fun trail. There's all these trails.
Yeah.
They're all fun. That
Arizona's
whole
amazing.
area
Yeah.
is my stomping ground. I'm
Which
old
one?
enough where everywhere within 50 miles I can ride and like do whatever I want.
Yeah. I love
Like
Arizona,
I can
man.
go for a day ride within 50 miles of the house, and that'll be like a 100-mile round trip. Yeah,
Yeah. Not bad, dude. Yeah, I love riding in Arizona. It's one of my favorite like landscapes and the trails there. It's just I absolutely love riding in Arizona.
yeah,
So your first race was in 2024, Pinions and Pines, and you were 15 years old. So
yeah.
first bikepacking race at 15 years old. Um, and I read, is it true that it was your first bikepacking trip too? Like it was the first time you actually went bikepacking?
No,
Okay.
actually, I went one time with my dad, and we did like 75 miles over 3 days, and like did it where you got those giant backpacks. Like we took our we took our backpacking backpacks and then just rode our bikes from point A to point B. Um, and so that was very fun. And then I pre-rode the course over each weekend.
Hmm.
So I did like one part, camped out, did a little bit more of that part, and then got picked up, and then started at that spot next weekend and did one part, camped, one part, got picked up, and then did that for a few weekends. So that was my experience leading up to that race.
Yeah. Doing that pre-ride, did that make you personally feel confident? Obviously, that was the thing that like helped tip the scales in your parents' eyes. But like when you went and did that, you also got a really good look at what you're about to be doing in more competitive race setting. Did it give you confidence, or did it kind of even scare you even more? If you ever were scared, I don't even know.
I mean, like the dark scary, like that was cool. I don't think I was as scared as I was excited. I think I would have done it regardless. Um, it definitely did give me an edge over the other riders because I knew where the gate was, and I knew that this trail takes a sharp left right here.
Mm,
Or for example, um, there's this guy that I was riding with, and at every intersection he would pull out his phone and have ride with GPS because he had an E-Trek, so it was like hard to follow.
right.
And then we were riding together, and it was like I had my Garmin, but I also knew where I was going too, so I could be like this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way.
Oh yeah, that's
So
a
that
huge
was
advantage.
yeah. super like, because like on the other ones where you don't pre-ride it, it's just like you like have to figure out that little tiny grass padding down is the trail.
Right.
Um,
And if
or
it's
like that.
nighttime, you can be spending time like going here, going there, like trying to find, trail finding can be a real challenge on some courses. And so, yeah, anytime you like know where you're going, it also like I think helps mentally. Just it's one less thing that you're having to like worry about and figure out like mentally. How long was it from like Cruz? Well, you're a Cruz. When you were like, oh, I want to do Pinions and Pines to like when you actually like signed up and did it.
I don't really know. I think it was one of those like, I want to say maybe like, I think when I first heard about it and I was kind of like, I want to do that, um, was a while before I actually did it. But when I started taking it seriously, like I want to do that and making goals to do it was probably within 6 months of the race, maybe. But I had heard
Oh,
about it for longer.
yeah. What was it like to actually do your first bike packing race? Like all the preparation. We all fantasize about like what it's gonna be like. Oh, it's gonna be freaking awesome. Like, was it as cool as you thought it was gonna be, or what was that experience like?
It was so awesome. Like the 4 days before, I took the total race mileage and I divided it by 3, and that got me 125 miles, I think, or maybe it was 120 miles. But each bike packing, each like little trip leading up to that, I would do like 100 miles and then do like 15 or 20 miles the next
Mm.
day. Um, and so like the longest I had ridden before that was 75 miles unloaded.
Oh wow.
And so then I showed up and I got to 100 miles and I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna do this in 3 days." And so then I did the extra 25 miles and I went to bed. And then I repeated my biggest mileage ever
On the
again and
second day.
again. Yeah.
Okay, so 3 days in a row, you hit your longest mileage.
Yeah.
And you finished,
So
let's see, I have the notes. Let's see. You finished the first one 14th overall with a time of 2 days, 15 hours, and 53 minutes. So you even like, if you were going for 3 days, you even like cut into what you thought maybe you could do.
yeah, and I really think that's interesting because whenever I think of time, I think of that as being 3 days. Like, I finished on the night of my 3rd. I don't know, the math always adds up weird because I started so, like, yeah, I met my goal right on target. Like, my goal was to finish that night, which what I believed was 3 days, but I guess it's actually 2 days and then
15 hours. Yeah.
15 hours.
I mean, you're only 9 hours short of a full day. So, in your mind
Yeah.
and being out there, you're like, that was a big effort on the third day still.
Yeah, I don't really yeah, I guess I did blow my goal out of the water. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, I think
Mm,
that's good. You surprised yourself. I mean, 14th overall in your first ever bikepacking races. I mean, and at 15, is truly incredible. Were you
yeah.
hooked immediately, or did it take a toll on you, and you're like, oh, I might need to recover from this for a little bit?
No, the only one that I was like, "I don't wanna ride my bike," was the Tour Divide. Like, I wanted to ride my bike, but I did not wanna ride my bike on the road ever again. I think if the finish was
Oh.
another mile away, I would have sat down and cried and bawled my eyes out right before the finish and then gone and finished. Or maybe just DNF'd right there, like, I was
Oh.
done, I couldn't yeah,
So you really struggle with yeah, just the straight riding. Like you prefer more like technical terrain. Anything straight and open is like just what is it for you? Mind numbing? It's what?
it's like, I like to obviously I want the adventure, but I like to ride my bike, not pedal my bike. And I
Oh,
feel like
interesting.
I'm pedaling my bike. Well, I like pedaling my bike, but I don't like mindless pedaling,
Yeah.
which is what I feel like that is,
Interesting.
especially when my life's not in my control. Because
So the cars are another big factor there.
yeah, hmm
Yeah.
because like if I hurt myself out here, I probably had something to do with it. But on the road,
Yeah.
most of the time, it's not 100% my fault.
Yeah, no,
Most
I
of the
mean,
time,
that's
it's not my fault at all. Yeah.
yeah. No, that's a
Um,
real consideration, valid. One interesting thing about you, that I read is 0 music, 0 podcasts, is that true?
yeah. There's reason behind that.
Yeah.
And well, number one, I'm outside. Like I get to listen to the birds tweet and the the crunch of the of the track under my tires and all that stuff. And also, well, earbuds distract and disorient me. It doesn't allow me to ride the trails much. I can't ride with just one earbud in. And then with both earbuds in, I'm doing a disservice to everybody else on the trail.
Yeah.
There was this one time that I was riding with my grandpa in Phoenix, and I'm like behind this dude, and same thing where you're like, "Hello, can I pass? Can I pass? Can I pass?" And then I like slowly increasing volume, and now I'm like, "Hey, can I pass?" Uh, Almost as loud as I could, and he like, I, I had been, I had been behind him for a hot minute, slowly getting up, and he just whips around, and he's like, "Why did you yell at me? You could have
Yeah.
just like a terrible experience." And he had his headphones on, and I was like, I just kind of took it and kept on moving,
Yeah.
but I I didn't appreciate that at all. I didn't,
Yeah,
and
no,
so
it's
want to and do that to anybody on the
yeah.
trail.
I think we've all had that experience. I mean, I haven't actually been yelled at. I've had more of the experience where like I'm yelling, I'm yelling, I'm yelling, I'm ringing the bell. And what happens is like I always just scare the crap out of them. It's like, and I don't want to like, I'm not trying to scare you, but also like you're impeding the trail by having like both your headphones in and you're not aware of your surroundings. But what about for like the Tour Divide though? Like, uh, all those mindless miles, did you consider throwing earbuds in or music or anything to like help with that? Because I totally relate, man. You're out on AZT, like you're in a remote, like pick a place, remote wilderness experience. Like that's where you want to be, right? And I get that, but like, man, I could see on those long stretches of Tour Divide, just throwing in some Led Zeppelin or whatever you listen to.
Yeah. So like I would like play only the best song, only the best part of the best song on repeat in my head. Like, when you do that when you get a song
Yeah,
stuck in your head.
yeah.
Um and so that would be something, and sometimes I just try and face it head on. I don't want that to sound like I'm super cool, but I don't know. It just wasn't really, the music is for comfort, and having earbuds in is not comfortable. So it it's the lesser of two pains. I can either face it head on, or I can put in earbuds and be frustrated because the earbuds don't fit well, or they don't sit in my head, or yeah.
What about just playing music on your phone? Like,
My
if you
phone's
just have
pretty
your phone on your handlebars. Oh, and yeah, and then yeah. So battery power conservation. Yeah.
Mhm.
So just full on. What do you do mentally? Do you find yourself to be like a fairly like optimistic person in your head when times are hard? Are you able to maintain a happy headspace?
Yes, for the most part. It My hardest time is when I miss people. I'm fine being miserable. I'm fine like in the cold and wet. I'm fine pushing my bike up hills. I'm fine being hurt, but I'm not fine when I miss people or when I miss my family, or that's like what puts me over the edge. And so what I do is I carry notes, handwritten notes from my parents, from my family members, from people that I care about, or people that want to write notes. And then when I'm down, I'll read a note. Um, and sometimes I'll read several notes. Um, Sometimes I'll get a text on my phone and I'll save that for later.
Mm.
Um,
So you mean like you won't even open the text, like you'll kind of wait until you're at a low moment and then you'll check in on what it
yeah,
is? Yeah. That's
and
smart.
the notes are super awesome because I can use them while they're out of service, and like I can really feel that connection to that person. Um, like on the Arizona Trail, my grandpa wrote me a note, and he actually typed it up because he was like, my handwriting's not getting very good, which compared to my handwriting, his handwriting is amazing.
Yeah.
Um, but it was so amazing and such a sweet note, and it brought me to tears, but good tears, happy tears.
Mhm.
Um, and so that's what I do.
Yeah. That
Um,
is so great, man. I love that.
yeah,
Was that note your grandfather wrote you? Was that on your first AZT attempt or your second AZT attempt?
on my second AZT, I didn't have notes on my first attempt.
Maybe that's what was missing.
Eh,
Eh.
we we can go as to why I DNF'd on the first.
Yeah. Let
Um,
me fill in the gaps real quick. So you did your first Pinion in Pine 2024, came in 14th place. And then the next thing you signed up for was an AZT ITT attempt. Um, and it was a DNF. And I was curious, were you going for the 300 or the 800 that time?
I was going for the 800.
All
I
right.
wanted to go big or go home.
Absolutely. Yeah, you don't play around. You
Yeah.
wrote on one article I read that you got severely humbled by the AZT. So yeah, fill in the gaps.
I did get humbled. Um, this this was my second like extravaganza, and so my dad wouldn't completely leave me alone for it.
Yeah.
Um, like, well, a few things happened. My mom was going to Mexico with my siblings, so they went to Cancun, and I went to go ride my bike, which was my decision. Like, my mom's awesome. She
Yeah.
didn't say, "All right, we're gonna go to Cancun. See you later." Um, well, she didn't say that in a mean way. Um, and so my dad, what didn't feel comfortable leaving me completely alone. So he like was always kind of in the general area
Hmm.
for a little while, and then when he had to go back to work, my grandpa came down and would be in the general area. So I think that kind of was a little bit of self-sabotaging, but also good. Cause like now my family's right there. Now the opportunity is there just to pull out.
Yeah.
But so I was pushing my bike up Mount Lemon, and I was having the worst time. Maybe I was having a very terrible time. It was hard. It was difficult. It was all of those words.
Yeah.
It was long. It was hot. Even though there was snow on the ground, it was still kind of hot at the spot where I was. Um, and all of a sudden, I miss my dad so much, and I'm just like, I need, I like, I I would have done anything. If somebody showed up and was like, you can see your dad right now, or you can have all the riches in the world you want. Never even have to like, or I'll give you a Ferrari or something. Um, I was like, I would have chose my dad straight up every time. Um, but so I remember it so clearly. So I'm rounding this bend and I see my dad, like, or no, I don't see my dad. I hear caca, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, that can't be. There's no way. He said he was going to work today.
You thought you're
Um,
hallucinating. You're missing him
yeah.
so bad. You're like, maybe I'm just hearing it.
And so that's what I kept thinking. And then I was like, well, I'll just see. And I respond with the caca. And then I hear a return one, and I'm like, that's my dad. And then he walks around this bend, and it's just it was like the best moment of my life ever. I I it was amazing. He like there could have even been like the sun was probably to his back, so he was like silhouetted and it was shining too. Like that's how
Yeah.
I remember it. It was so amazing. Um And then I finished the lemon push and it's dark out and my dad was like, "Well, why don't we get a hotel?" And so he like got me a hotel and then he drove back that night to go to work. And then the next day I was like riding my bike and I'm kind of limping now or just limping on, not
Yeah.
metaphorically limping on. And so I get down to this place and my grandpa's like, "Dude, I'm going to meet you here and it's gonna rain a ton tonight." And so I'm like doing doing the Arizona Trail on the backside of Lemon, and I'm questioning whether this was legit because I saw my dad, and I'm questioning like whether it's legit because I know my grandpa's gonna be up there, and I know that they're all around and all that stuff. So like the idea of I could push on into a storm and know that I have a way out.
Yeah.
Um, and so then it's getting dark out. This is the day after I saw my dad, and I see these two hikers, and they're like, "Dude, you can come back and do it, but you can also take a rest day and just all of this stuff." Like trying to help me make a responsible decision because I was thinking about quitting. So then and then eventually I get to my where my grandpa is, and I'm like, I really want to try and continue this adventure. I don't want to sleep in the RV because that would be definitely would be cheating, like hands down. And then eventually I'm like, you know what? I'll take it. I'll take that warm bowl of chili. I'll take that
Mm.
nice and cozy bed. I'll take beating you in a game of Rummy Cube. Or maybe I actually think I beat him. I'm gonna say I beat him. Um, and then and then that morning he was like, well, you're out of the race now, but you can still continue on.
Mm.
And so I rode to the next spot from like Friedman Road over to the I think where you come into Globe no, it's not Globe. It's that little community right after Ripsy Peak where you can
Where
get
they
the
have the
pizza.
pizza? Yeah, the
Yeah.
pizza place? Yeah. I don't remember what it's called, but that's what I was thinking, yeah.
But I came in there and my grandpa was there and I was like, you know what? I don't really want to do this. And so then I came home and I went skiing the next day. So it was super fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, did that, quote, unquote, "failure" I don't like to categorize them as failures because I think every time you learn, it's not a failure, and so you obviously learned a lot, but, like, did you process that in any kinda negative way, or did you just chalk it up to a good learning experience?
Um, I mean, it was hard. One of the things the hikers that I met said was think about what you're gonna do at home. Like you're just gonna be sitting at home thinking about how you could have pushed on.
Mhm.
And I did fight that a lot. but it also helped because I went skiing.
Yeah.
Like, also that day, there was like a few text messages from my friends, like, yeah, go cruise, go cruise. And one of my friends is like, hey, you want to go skiing tomorrow? And so, like, I don't think that contributed to the DNF at all, but it was sure nice to not stop the adventure because
Yeah, you had
at
a soft
the end of,
landing,
yeah.
literally.
Mhm. Um,
uh,
but
yeah,
yeah,
and I
it
mean the
changed.
AZT is a freaking monster too. Like to go on the AZT for your second bikepacking trip or race attempt is like that is mind-numbing, and AZT is gonna humble anyone. I attempted it a couple years ago, just the 300. Well, not I shouldn't say just the 300. I attempted the 300, got to
Mhm.
Tucson and pulled it for heat-related reasons. But I feel like I needed that to like wrap my head around how hard the AZT is. So like next time I go back, I'll be like more mentally and probably even like physically prepared, for it. So
Mhm.
I don't look at mine as a failure, man. Like that was one of the best experiences I've ever had on a bike. I love being in like real wilderness environments where like the stakes are really high and there's a premium on decision making and stuff like that. I think, and the technical writing is freaking insane. So I loved it and I can't wait to go back.
Yeah, it definitely helped me like be like, "Oh yeah, Cruz, you're not invincible. You can't do whatever you want." But it also said like, "Hey, Cruz, finishing is amazing. Like finishing is cool. You don't have to race to finish." And so I took that to heart on the Colorado Trail, just I mean, I was still pushing, but I was like, "Cool. I'm gonna go to bed every night before and try not to stay up crazy late
Yeah.
so that I can see all the beauty in the morning." And
And that
yeah,
AZT ITT attempt is your only DNF, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah. So
that's
you
my
finished
only.
everything else you started.
Mhm.
Yeah, which is freaking amazing. I want to get this in here. We have to talk about your Triple Crown because that's kind of like that's a big deal. I don't know if you know about that, but Pinion. The next thing you attempted after AZT DNF was Pinions and Pines again this year in 2025.
Mhm.
Now you're 16 years old. 10th overall, by the way, 10th overall at your second attempt. But that is the one where you have an article on bikepacking.com, talking about your experience on that race. And one of your friends has an article there as well that did it with you. And great
Mhm.
article. Everybody needs to go back and read it because your writing in that is so good. Like I was really interested to talk to you, and then I read that, and I'm like, oh, I like this guy's like sense of humor and his personality. So you talk about in that article your superpower. So what is your superpower?
Oblivion. And like,
Oblivion.
mhm, it it it's it's really like it helps a lot because like on the Tour Divide, there's like this section. I mean, I do my research, but there's this section of road that's like 100 miles long, and Oblivion helped me that entire time because each time would see a dirt track that would go off, and I'd be like, "Ooh, that's me, that's me, that's me." And then I'd look at the Garmin, and it'd be like, "Oh no, that's not me." Um, and so like that helped me just like keep on going because every time I thought, "Ooh, I'm gonna get off this main road. Ooh, I'm gonna get off the main road. Ooh, I'm gonna get," but never happened.
What is
Yeah.
Oblivion? Describe it for people who don't know how that is a superpower. What is it?
So my definition of oblivion is like ignorance. Like, yeah, ignorance is much like just the the ignorance of ignorance. Yeah, let's go
Yeah.
with ignorance. Yeah,
So it's
that's my.
literally just like I don't know what's coming. I don't know what I can and I can't. I mean, you're still young. This is your third attempt ever at a bikepacking event, and you don't know what you don't know. You don't know where your limits are. You really don't know how far you can go. You don't know how little sleep you can get and still keep going. And so, like, all of those unknowns in your mind are a superpower because you can just be like, well, I don't know. Maybe I can ride, X, or maybe I can do that.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's Oblivion. And that was also awesome because I convinced two of my friends to start it, and one of them started it and the other one finished it. Well, started and finished it. So that was super rad. And she had like a incredible time and became the youngest finisher of youngest female finisher of that year, and of all time. And now she just became the youngest female finisher of the Colorado Trail too,
Wow, that's
being by a
amazing.
month by me.
Wait, say that again. What did you say?
She would be the youngest finisher, but I had to take that by 1 month. So yeah,
1 month. When is your birthday?
November 25th.
Okay. Oh, I had one more
Mhm.
question about your superpower. Do you
Yeah,
think what one thing you said about it is in one of the articles I read, it was like some people would say that's just kind of youthful ignorance, but also some people say the world is flat. So who really knows? Um, where do you attribute it to youthful ignorance? Is that where it comes from? And do you think that oblivion goes away as you get more experienced?
I love this question because my dad took a photo of my finishing at. This is just a quick side. I'll try and make it real fast. But
No, hit me.
dad took a photo of me at the finish of the Tour Divide, and I had seen Karen Pocock like lift her bike up over her head, and that finishing photo with Karen and Alexandra, and I was like, I want to do that. And I also took this really cool photo because there was a sign that said, "Watch out." It was like a symbol for crashing on the cattle guard, like "Watch out" bikes. And so I took a cool photo like that on the cattle guard too. But like, so I'm lifting my bike over my head, and so you can see my underwear, and my underwear is on backwards, which, if you don't know, is like backcountry savants where like flip their underwear in and out
Yeah.
for multiple day use.
Yeah.
And so one of my buddies was like, "Is he a backcountry savant or is he an ignorant teenager?"
Yes.
Um, and so basically, I think I like to think of myself as a backcountry savant, but in reality, I'm just ignorant and uh, keep riding my bike or uh,
Maybe you are a savant. See, that you don't really know. Like maybe you are a savant and time will actually tell, or maybe it'll turn out you were just a youthful idiot or something. Okay, well, tell us the underwear. Was that intentional or not? Let's spill the tea.
no, that was not intentional at all.
All right, so that's a mark for youthful idiot.
Yeah.
Or a notch
Mhm,
or whatever. Oh shoot, what was I going to ask you? Um I don't know. I guess I'll skip it. Maybe
mhm.
it'll pop back in. See, it happens to me too, young grasshopper. Oh, that was another quote. You said you're like, I don't know what that means, and I don't even know if he was talking to me. Do you remember saying that in one of the articles? You were talking about Matt Annabelle. He caught up to you at like a grocery store, a convenience store or something.
Uh-huh.
You don't remember?
No, I don't remember. I do
That's
remember meeting Matt, though, and that was
yeah.
super cool
And one of
because
the go ahead, tell me.
it's just, like, big idols, like, I look up to all these people, and now I'm riding side by side them.
Oh, I know.
Granted, now they're finishing, like, days in front of me, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm,
You got time to grow. I wouldn't worry about that too. Yeah, and I mean all your times are like super impressive. Um
mhm.
yeah, Matt Annabelle is one of my heroes too. I really look up to him. He's an absolute legend. You put in the article that like you were in some like state where you're like barely holding on to life. I don't really know, but you were having a moment at a gas station and like he catches up to you, and he says to you while he's going into the gas station, something about being you'll learn young grasshopper or something like that. And then you're like, and actually, I'm not even sure he was talking at all or something like that. So,
Okay. Thanks for refreshing my mind a little bit, because I came into Sedona and it was super hot, and I got to that Chipotle and I was just like, I was like dead.
mm,
Like I was holding on to the counter so that I wouldn't fall off.
yes, this is the time.
Um,
That's what you wrote. Yeah.
and so that's, oh no, I lost my train of thought now. Wait, can you repeat the question one more time?
Yeah, I mean, you were just outside. So I guess what I read is like you went up to the counter and you were like, yeah, you were having to use the counter like hold yourself up, and then you went outside to like eat your Chipotle, and Matt Annabelle caught up to you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Cause I ride really hard and then I go to bed. And then I ride really hard and then I go to bed. And Matt just rides all the time, in the dark, in the day. And so that was kind of the like idea behind that, is in time you learn how to ride your bike so that you don't explode in the heat, and so that you can also ride when it's cooler.
Yeah.
Um,
So
I
your
think I'm
approach. Oh, go ahead. I
pa
want to hear what you have to say.
I think I'm misquoting past self a little bit, but that's what I'm gonna go with right now.
Yeah. No, that sounds close enough. So your approach is really just to go, for lack of a better term right now, balls out until you just crash, figuratively speaking, you
Mhm.
sleep, and then you just go again. How often do you try to sleep for? Do you have a sleep number that you think works for you?
It changes all the time. I try and get a full night's like, for the first ones, I would try and get a full night's sleep, so I'd go to bed, and then wake up when the sun comes up. Um, so basically just whenever I went to bed to when I wake up. Um,
No alarm. That was one thing I read that I thought was interesting, is you woke up with the sun to no alarm, and I was curious. I'm like, is that like, I would never be able to do that, right? Like I need 15,000 alarms to like get me up if I'm going to like, do a big effort and sleep for 4 hours or something. Can you just wake up to the sun like that?
yeah, that's what I do almost all the time. When I'm at school, I wake up to the alarm, or not to the alarm, but to the sun. It gets sometimes challenging in the winter because then the sun won't come up till after school.
Yeah.
So then I'll actually have to like go to bed and be like, all right, you got to wake up before then. But I hardly use alarms.
Wow.
Um,
That's amazing.
yeah.
All right. So let's dig into the Triple Crown a little bit. I'm curious, and just for the record, I will have said this in the intro, but you are the youngest person in the history of the Triple Crown to complete all three, AZT, Tour Divide, CTR. Uh, was that a goal that you established? Did you say, I'm going for the Triple Crown? Or did you just like go back, redo AZT, and then you're like, oh, I guess I'll do Tour Divide? Like, how did it come into fruition?
So, first of all, I have the youngest lifetime Triple Crown, which means that you had to do all three in 1 year. I do not have an official triple, like uh, a calendar year technical, all of that, because I learned that you have to start that at the grand depart all three times. And I won't be able to start the grand depart of the AZT this year. Um, and I don't think I ever want to do the total divide again the way I did it.
Hmm.
So, so I, so I'm just gonna have a lifetime triple. But no, I did not kind of start like that. I kind of did the Arizona Trail and was like, dude, that was rad. That was cool. And I was planning to go do like a fishing boat, work on a fishing boat in Alaska for my summer.
Wow.
And then a while before. I was like, you know what? I I want to do the Tour Divide. Eden Teach did it. I can do it. Maybe. We'll see how it goes. And I want to do it in 20 days. And every time I like, my dad would be like, Cruz, tell him about how you're gonna try and do the Tour Divide. And I'd be like, I'm gonna try and do it, and I'm gonna try and do it in 20 days. And my dad would correct me and be like, we'll see him in like 30 or 32 days. Um, and I was like, eh. But I just had to stay silent. Silence louder.
Yeah, let your writing speak. Was he
Yeah,
basing that off of the fact that, like, so AZT, it took you over 17 days, which I have to say is super freaking impressive, dude. Like
yeah.
managing that environment for 17 days, like hats off to you. That's huge. But so was he like extrapolating from AZT and being like, okay, 800 miles, 17 days. I think he's going to do it in 30 days, you know?
A mix of both. Like the AZT took forever for a few different reasons. Namely being that um my goal was to finish it, not to finish it in like, well, I had a time goal, but that was very unrealistic. Um and my main goal was just to finish it. And so that was one thing. And then the things that led up to that taking so long was there was snow in Flagstaff. And once you get up on the Mogollon Rim, you pretty much deal with death mud almost all the way to the Grand Canyon. I'm not
Mm,
sure about past the Grand Canyon,
right.
but and what that is it's peanut butter mud. It sticks. It gets everywhere. It's really hard. You can't ride your bike. If you ride your bike, you're gonna like literally stop in your tracks. And if you walk your bike, it's still gonna get clouded, and your bike tires aren't gonna be able to move, and your feet are gonna be 5 pounds heavier each because they have so much mud on them. So, well, that was one thing. And then I tried to solve that by riding through the night, but I'm young and I didn't really understand that very well. So I would like ride and then go to bed and then ride for a little bit and then go to bed. And then, like dirt nap, you'd like
Yeah.
go to bed, get cold, wake up, ride, go to bed, get cold, wake up, ride. And so it'd just be like I'd like put on my puffy jacket, go to bed, or actually that's the other thing I would do is if I didn't want to sleep for long enough to get cold, I would go to bed in an uncomfortable position so that I'd wake up to get into a different position. And then I'd be like, oh yeah, I got to go ride my bike.
Uh,
Um, but it would be like, I only got 17 miles in when the ground was frozen. The idea was that I could ride in the dark while the ground was frozen so that I wouldn't have to deal with the mud.
yeah.
But I would just keep going to sleep that whole night. Like, I never just rode. I just go to bed, wake up, ride to the next hill, go to bed, wake up, ride to the next hill, go to bed, and repeat that. And then there was snow. There was so much snow. I was post holing up trails around Flagstaff that normally would take me like an hour to ride up, but now would took me all day to push my bike up because it's covered in snow. So all of that contributed to it being, I think just the snow problem added 3 extra days. Um, and then the mud, like the mud's a standard thing. So I shouldn't say that added days. I should say I encountered that problem on there.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, dude, 17 days, 7 hours and 42 minutes on the AZT. Dude, that's like so freaking impressive. And that really shows like grit, determination, toughness, resilience, insert any word you want. Like
Yeah.
that is just what an accomplishment to have that. And also an ITT. In my mind, and I think most people, ITT way harder. You don't have people passing you, cheering you up or whatever. In your mind, do you prefer the grand depart or an ITT?
So I agree with you. Like Grand Depart, as I've figured out, the toll divide has gotten super blown up. So there's people out there that are like just like cheering you on and have like a cooler loaded with drinks and whatnot.
Right.
Like on the toll divide, there was like people that would be like, toll divide riders this way, free snacks and goodies over here. And so like I could be like, oh, I'm tired of this cookie. It's not tasty. I've got plenty of food, but I'm tired of it. And then lo and behold, 20 miles later, there's this thing that's like fresh baked cookies for toll divide riders this way. And now I get new cookie.
Now I get a
Um,
new cookie.
yeah,
Sorry, that hit my funny bone.
yeah. So ITT, I think, is harder. And then also, I want to ride with somebody, but nobody's riding in the same direction as me. Um, or nobody's riding for as long as I am, or nobody's, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that, or nobody's riding as slow as I am, or nobody's riding, yeah. Um, so with the AZT V2, it was also a lot better because I had a little bit more experience. So my dad actually went to Mexico, and my mom stayed at home, and so that also really helped me complete the Arizona Trail because I had hard times, but my dad wasn't there just to pick me up. He was busy having the time of his life in Mexico.
Good.
So it was
Yeah.
like that also helped me do it. Helped me like legitimately do it and also do it legit, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I appreciate that perspective. I mean, of acknowledging the quote unquote support of like the first attempt, and like that's the conversation that will percolate in this sport periodically, is like, no, just the knowledge of having someone that could come pick you up, like the
yeah,
example you gave of like, I'm going to ride into that storm knowing that I've got, a safety net. And so, yeah, I mean, that's wise to see that at such a young age and have that perspective for sure.
yeah. And like it was like on the second I had legit trail magic and I did it legit and like I was I legitimately did the entire thing legit. I didn't have like the first time I did it was not allowed. It was yeah, but
Yeah,
I came back and I did it legit. So I'm also proud of myself
you
for
should be.
doing it the correct way. Yeah.
Yeah, man. No, that's super. I couldn't say enough good things. I'm so impressed by that.
Yeah.
Um, so continuing with the Triple Crown, next up is Tour Divide. You did do the group depart or grand depart.
Mhm.
19 days, 11 hours and 6 minutes. So take that, Dad.
Yeah.
And you even beat your own time. But as you've alluded to many times in this conversation, Tour Divide wasn't your favorite.
Mhm.
You wrote in another article, you tried to quit mid race multiple times, but didn't have cell service to call your dad. Take us to those moments. Like, where were
Yeah.
you at when you were trying to quit? What was happening? Yeah.
So they got that a little bit wrong. I tried to quit one time, but I tried to call multiple times.
Okay.
Um, and it was this day, and I told my dad, like, dude, read the race rules. You're not allowed to come see me. Like,
Yeah.
explicitly not allowed. And then my dad like shows up in the middle of the Tetons and is like, "Hi, Cruz, way to go, Cruz." And so I'm like, "You can't see me." And then a little bit later, I'm like, "Dude, it was really." And this was at like the
Mm.
Flagstaff. It's some resupply. Um, and so then I'm like excited to see him, and then towards the end, I'm just like bawling my eyes out, so sad and whatnot. And then I continue on for the next. I've still got like 50 miles that I want to ride that day to meet the daily goal
Mm-hmm.
to finish in 20 days. And then I'm riding, and all of a sudden I'm just like, I can't ride my bike. I miss these people so much. Everything, just terrible, feeling terrible. I don't have service. I like just feeling mentally terrible. Like taking this really easy to ride gravel road and walking my bike because I know I got to keep going, but I don't know what to do. And eventually I get to Togwee Mountain Lodge, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy some goodies. I'm gonna relax here, and I'm just because I really wanted to quit right there, but I was like, come on, Cruz, this if you can just work through it, it's just okay. Like, and my dad, to make it even worse, my dad had driven all night to come and see me, and then turned around and driven all so he went to work this day. He drove out to come see me, and then he turned around and drove like 12 hours back. Um, and so maybe not. I told him it wasn't race legal, and I think I jeopardized I I think I jeopardized the race with that. Um,
It's
but he
interesting
wasn't
because I don't, like you expressly stated, and you can't control like what other people do. And it sounds like when you saw him, you were like, I can't see you.
Mhm. And yeah, so well, that's to be debated, but I'm gonna say that it made my day. It was amazing. I'm so glad that I got to see him, but it made my day a lot harder because now I was all super sad. So I'm gonna say that balanced out. I
Yeah.
know. Um, but then now I'm at Togwee, and I've been there for like an hour, and I'm still just feeling terrible. And not I'm mentally feeling terrible. My body's fine.
Mm.
It's my body. It can do whatever. Um, and so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna call my dad and see if he can come pick me up. And I call him, and he's busy using his new Tenkara rod and fishing in some canyon, and so he doesn't have any service.
Uh,
And so I try like 4 or 5 times, and then I'm like, then I get to my senses, and I'm like, I need to call somebody who will give me encouragement, but who can't just swoop in and pick me up. Like, and so then I end up calling my friend because my dad, he drove out all night or came and saw me and was driving back and camped, and was like, I don't know what he was doing. He told me he was fishing in a canyon. And so I call him, and he's out of service, and so I call my friend, and she's just like, "Come on, Cruz, you got it." Like, give me gave me encouragement, and she was about to take off on the Colorado Trail in a few days. So that was really helpful and really impactful, and I've I that gave me enough courage to be like, "All right, I'm not gonna quit anymore. I'm not even gonna think about it anymore."
wow.
Then I was kinda getting ready to go, and this other racer came in and was like, "I'm gonna stay the night here." And I was like, "You know what? Can I join you?" So I stayed the night with him, and then that was my only night in the hotel, and then so that was that.
And you
Like, that
never kind of, I mean, you did mention early on the podcast, like if the finish line was 1 mile longer, you probably would have quit 1 mile from the finish. But were you able to keep that kind of like resilient mindset towards the end pretty much?
yeah. I kept, all the way up until the last 20 miles. It's a fake uphill, and it's windy, and it's hot, and it's on the highway, and it's just hard. That I was degrading right there
Yeah.
because like, because I was like, oh, I still need to keep enough water to make sure that I can, when I get to the finish, I can drink some water. Because I wasn't sure if my dad was going to be at the finish.
Mm.
And then I'm just like slowly degrading. And then I finished and was able to see my dad. So
He
that was
was there?
rad. He was there. Yeah.
Okay. So for you, Tour Divide, is that a one and done? Do you think you can
Yeah.
check that
One and
box?
done.
Yeah.
I'm okay with not doing that again. It was a very cool first experience. It was super beautiful. I would recommend it to people to do it one time, but I'm okay with not doing it again.
Yeah. And that's
Um,
just because of kind of the more open roads and it's
yeah,
not as like mentally stimulating or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, all right, next up in your Triple Crown attempt is the most recent Colorado Trail race. Just happened in August. I guess we're still in August. When did it start?
August 2nd.
August 2nd. Yeah. So you're like, yeah,
Yeah.
you haven't even been off Colorado Trail very long. So you finished that one in 6 days, 17 hours, 49 minutes, youngest solo finisher ever. So
Hmm.
youngest solo finisher of AZT 800, youngest solo finisher of CTR on Tour Divide. Does Eden have
Eden.
you on Tour Divide?
Eden has me on Tour Divide.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm proud. I wouldn't have done that if he didn't do it first. So
You wouldn't have
yeah,
done Tour Divide or any of this.
Tour Divide.
Yeah.
Just Tour Divide. I would have done the Arizona Trail and the Colorado Trail, but I wouldn't have done the Tour Divide without him doing it first. It didn't really interest me until he did it.
What about him doing it interests you? Like, you obviously knew you couldn't be the youngest to complete it, but just it inspired you, or what?
Yeah, I guess it inspired me. I guess it was like, well, he did it, so I guess I can do it.
I guess I can do it
Um,
too. And
yeah.
so even then with like Tour Divide, the Triple Crown wasn't like you were you think when did you start thinking about the Triple Crown?
Well, it was kind of like I finished the Tour Divide, and then I was like doing this new school program, so the Colorado Trail was available to start with the Grand Depart. Because I would have been in school otherwise. Like I should be in school, right? If I wasn't doing the new radical school program, I would be in school right now.
Yeah.
Um, so that was like the idea to do the Colorado Trail. And then it was kind of like, well, then you'd be triple crowning if you did the Colorado Trail. So now you got to do it.
Yeah.
Um, and then it was like, well, you should do the Arizona Trail too. And then like the date was like October 3rd and it was going to line up. And then they were like, we're going to push it back even more. And then the date didn't line up. And so, yeah. So then that kind of, cause I was going to do all three as a grand depart.
Mhm.
And then I realized, wait a minute, I did the Arizona Trail before and it's in that 12-month span.
Right.
And we researched even more and was like, oh, but that's a lifetime triple crown. That's not like a
A year Triple Crown, the calendar
yeah.
year option.
Mhm.
And for
'Cause
the record, you actually did all three within a 10-month window. And I don't know if you know this, but on bikepacking.net, they actually list you as a career Triple Crown finisher and they list you in the year long category. But there is a note that it's like it was within a year, not within a calendar year, but you're listed on that list.
Sweet. As you can tell, that makes me happy.
There you go.
I
Yeah, I
it's
did.
the asterisk is well deserved.
I mean, there's
But
no asterisks. I mean, yeah, I mean, it does say within a 10-month. And I was also reading, and I mean, it said, ideally you start during the Grand Depart, but they'll also accept ITTs as, acceptable for the Triple Crown Challenge or whatever. So,
huh,
I
I
was
thought it was
reviewing it this morning, and I don't know if that's changed over the time or whatever. But you're on the list, man. So whoever's controlling the list puts you on there.
thank you,
Yeah, congrats.
whoever's there. Yeah. So I'm
Uh,
stoked about that. Yeah.
yeah,
That's
dude.
awesome. Hmm.
So at CTR this year, one of the biggest storylines was wildfires, and just like really bad air quality. There was a 57% attrition rate on Colorado Trail this year, which there's usually a pretty high attrition rate. That was a little bit higher than even what CTR is used to. If I understand correctly, the leaders got through the elk fire before it happened, but like you would arrive like later, and got caught up in the wildfires. So I don't know. How did you deal with all that? How bad was it on the ground?
It wasn't like I live in Arizona, so I have experience with fire, but I also don't have nearly as much as what it sounded like the Colorado Trail had last year.
Hmm.
Um, but it was cool because on the way up, I was talking to my dad about fires because he used to be on a hot shot crew and
Yeah.
just learning the different, not just learning to learn, not for the race specifically, but learning about an ice cap which forms on the top of the fire, on the top of the smoke cloud, and can be dangerous and has killed a few crews that with that ice cap. And so it was interesting because I was riding in like towards the elk fire, and I see this big old giant ice cap on the top of this fire, and I'm like, wow, like I think this is what my dad was talking about. Like
Hmm.
it just kind of interested in it. And a small part of me wanted the course to go by it so that I could see if I could dig line, but that was just like a naive hope that I had. Oblivion was there
Oblivion.
trying to convince me to go dig line.
I love it.
And so then I climb up and I crest the ridge and I'm like, "Oh, that fire's way, way over there. I'm fine." But still just interesting to see this ice cap form and all of that. And then ride down, get to Cathedral Ranch, and a bunch of people are like concerned about the fire, but the smoke's all up high, and obviously it's gonna settle down in the ground. So I just rode my bike like normal and camped higher outside of a basin
Hmm.
and woke up and it was kind of smoky, but yeah, the fire didn't really impact me that much.
Weird. Yeah, a lot of people were like struggling with it. I mean, because you're combining. I mean, I wasn't out there, but pretty extreme heat this year. Obviously, you go up to like 13,000 feet elevation, and you got poor air quality from all the fires. So it seems like a pretty dramatic combination of weather events.
Yeah, I can't stand the heat, and everybody said the Colorado Trail was going to be dry. But what I learned was it was only dry in the parts that it's normally dry in. Like on the Arizona Trail, there's almost nowhere where you can take water outside of a cow tank. Um, but here it's like there was so many streams.
Hmm.
I I was I got really hot on the first day, but there was a stream, which normally I'm used to just being hot and suffering,
Hmm.
but now I can be hot and be cool for 10 minutes and then be back to suffering.
Did you hop in any of the streams or just refill your water?
I hopped in and refilled my water and in the streams on the first day. Yeah. And dunked my shirt in almost every subsequent stream after that.
Yeah, that's a great strategy. You got to be like mindful of your time, right? So get in the stream and fill your water at the same time. If you got to stand there and fill your water, might as well get in for a little while.
Yeah. And like I wasn't super concerned about the Colorado Trail about being timely and efficient. Like I got all the time in the world. I don't have to be anywhere. Um, but and my goal was 10 days for the Colorado Trail, which I absolutely shattered that. I thought the
Wow.
Colorado Trail was going to take forever.
Yeah.
Thought it was going to be a slog. So yeah.
Why? What was it? Just easier than you expected? Like, because I don't know if I said it already, but 6 days, 17 hours, 49 minutes. So I mean, well under your 10-day time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I had heard that it was a very hard thing. 10 days felt like a reasonable goal where I could ride my bike and have fun on the trail and see the trail without like blowing myself up every single day and riding until 12 at night every day. Um, so, so I was like, yeah, 10 days is my goal. I'll see what happens. The goal is just to finish. Um, and I'll just mosey on.
Is it more important to you to, finish and get the Triple Crown versus like a time? Is that why you took pressure off like a time goal because you had a larger goal of being a Crown finisher?
No, not even that. Just the goal was just to finish.
Yeah.
Like,
So you're just a finisher, irregardless of like
yeah,
records or anything like that. Like you just want to, if I'm going to sign up, I want to finish.
yeah. Like the Arizona Trail, I spent so much time after that being like, what if I just like rode one more day? Even though it was not race allowed, I could have just done the trail. Like I could have finished it. I could have done it. And I spent so long that I don't want to enter, I don't want to do that again unless it's like a serious problem. Um, so yeah.
Did you
Plus
have any did you have any low moments on CTR or did it go pretty swimmingly?
it went great. It was
Wow.
beautiful. I think it helped in so many different ways. Number one, it was riding my bike.
Mm,
Number two, it's in beautiful places. Number three, I met awesome people, like the dude from Australia and this dude named Jacob who knew my uncle.
mm.
So that was cool. So like we had no idea until a few days before that we second degree knew each other even. So that was super cool.
Yeah.
Um and I met other rad people. I met a person from Israel. Um and yeah, like I might even be going and trying to say what's up to my new friend in Australia. Um, which would be cool.
Do a bike race over there?
Yeah, we were talking about doing the Tassie gift.
Yeah, the Tassie, man. I've done a few podcasts on the Tassie, and that sounds like a real fun one. A
Yeah.
real challenge. Yeah, that's a good one. The gift of Tassie. All right.
Mm.
With the Triple Crown, which one? I think we can take Tour Divide off the list of your favorite course in the Triple Crown. So we'll AZT CTR. Which one did you prefer more?
Everybody's been asking me that so many times. And one wise grandpa, maybe mine, maybe not, once said, well, actually, one wise dad once said, comparison is the thief of joy.
Hmm.
And was one wise grandpa once told me that they were in this beautiful place in Flagstaff and was like, and one of their buddies was like, these lava tubes are cool, but they're not like the lava tubes I saw in, I don't know.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, some world renowned place or something like that. Um, and so going with that, they were both amazing. They were both very cool. Um, but I think the Colorado Trail was also super rad. Um, but
I
the,
love your answer. Oh, go
mhm.
ahead.
But the Arizona Trail was also rad.
Yeah.
I think the Colorado Trail was just I'm used to the desert. The desert has that beautiful beauty that it has, but I hadn't really been in a place like Colorado. The
Right.
Colorado Trail goes through before.
Yeah.
So that was
I get I could see that being like really stimulating. I mean, anytime you're in a new place, it's like super cool to go like ride awesome stuff in your own like backyard. But when you get to go see like new flora, new fauna, new places, like it's all unfamiliar, like it's a lot more exciting for sure. And I think that's a really wise answer. You're right. That is kind of a basic question. I think I've asked it probably over 100 times on this podcast, I'm sure. But I think that was probably the first time I've ever got that answer. So, yeah,
Glad I could
bringing
be
something fresh. Yeah.
new. Yeah.
We don't have to compare them. They can just all be good. Although you can, I guess you can compare. If we were going to compare them to the Tour Divide, you would have a more definitive answer.
No, I would just say that the Tour Divide was a once in a lifetime thing for me.
God, you're so good, man. You're so good. How important is I really love your journey and your story as to how you became a Triple Crown, finisher. We're talking about, you are now on a list of only 32 people to have ever completed that. That is something that they started recording in 2012. So we're like 14 years into recording Triple Crown finishers, and you're one of only 32 people at the age of 17. And like, it's really neat that like you didn't say, "Oh, I'm doing Triple Crown." You didn't spend years and years like leading up to it. You kind of stumbled into it almost, and so like,
Yeah.
I don't know, how are you processing and internalizing the fact that like at 17 you've accomplished one of the most impressive challenges that our sport has to offer?
I guess people just keep talking to me now. Like, I was a local legend in Flagstaff before this, and I felt like I knew a lot of people, but now I'm like a legit local legend. Like,
Yeah.
people, I'll be riding my bike and somebody will be like, "Congrats on the Tour Divide." And I'm like, I don't even think I recognize who you like. Normally it's like I recognize their face and I talked to them a while ago and then they saw something and they were like, "Oh, I remember that kid." But now it's like random people are like, "Oh, what's up? Didn't you do the Tour Divide?" And so that's kind of cool. And I am letting it to get to my head a little bit. Um, and it is weird. Like, there was a, a flag high thing yesterday for the high school that I used to go to. Um, and it was like I was talking with my friends, and then I would just keep talking to all of these people who were interested in my adventure. Like,
Mhm.
it was kind of interesting. Um,
Yeah.
and it's also been kind of cool because now different people are reaching out to me. Like, um, I've made amazing friends, but now I have amazing friends everywhere, which means like I can go places and meet people, and then on the flip side, those places can come or those people can come here and like I can show them around this
Absolutely.
place. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing about it is that you've earned all of that interest. You've earned all the accolades. Like,
Mhm.
when you complete a solo self-sufficient challenge like this, like, you can let it go to your head a little bit, I mean, you should pat your, and I tell people, I'm like, I hope you will take the opportunity to like be proud of yourself, because I think like humans, we're just always like, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? What's the next thing? And sometimes I think we're not good at like sitting with our accomplishments and being like, yeah, no, I effing did that, and so I don't know. You can feel good about that. I think you should. I think you should internalize that and give yourself some pats on the back. Maybe get yourself a new cookie.
Actually, yes, I will give myself. Dude, my mom made the most delicious muffins ever this morning. And the worst part was she only let me have 2 of the 3 muffins that were left. And so for like 15 minutes, I was like, "Mom, please let me just have that last one, please." 'Cause but eventually I got it. They were super delicious. Um,
That's hilarious. What kind of muffins were they?
I don't even know, just delicious. They
Just
have
good.
blueberries in them. They have, I don't know, most delicious baked treat I've ever had.
Tell her to remember that recipe, and so you can pack some of those on your next bike packing race or whatever. Like if you like them that much, that would probably be a good race fuel.
Yeah. Sausages are the best when they're tasty and you don't buy them from a. Oh, I guess I should elaborate more. On the Tour Divide, I had a really disgusting sausage, and it was like I like bought this sausage, and it was from a bakery, and it had like it was all nice and wrapped, and it had all those big words like artisan and all that stuff, and it was kind of expensive. And I was like, dude, this will be amazing in a little while. And I open it up and it looks like a Rocky Mountain oyster and it's absolutely disgusting. Like I'm throwing it back up type
Yeah.
disgusting. To the point where I'm like, and I think part of it was self-induced because it tasted so bad that I was like, well, if I take little bites like pills, maybe they'll go down
Hmm.
here and swallow them like pills. But I think when I would swallow them, I'd swallow a bunch and then I'd throw them back up because I'm not supposed to swallow the sausage.
There's nothing worse than like getting something like, I've like one experience I'm thinking about was on the AZT whenever I had like a new bike packer pantry, one of the hydrated meals, whatever they're called, freeze dried. And I like thought it was going to be so freaking good. And I was like looking forward to it. And then I ate it and it was truly like unedible. And it was like so demoralizing because like all day you're just like, oh, dude, I got this artisan farm to table sausage. It's going to bring me back to life. And all it does is make you throw up. It's like, no. All right, Cruz, where do you go from here, man? Where is all this leading? Do you have big goals? Do you have big dreams? Or are you just enjoying every moment and taking it as it comes? Like, where are we going with this?
So, well, I'm going to do that academy where I get to travel and ride my bike, which is going to be so cool. And then what I want to do with it, like my goal is to be on my deathbed and be like, I had fun. Like
Yeah.
I meet so many people who are like, I wish I did that when I was younger. I wish I had did that. And I bet but I want to be able to be like, I traveled, I explored, I had the, the, and the other thing is like I have a baby brother. And when he gets older, like, I'll have all these stories that I can tell him, and
Yeah.
I can be like, dude, look, like, when he gets old enough to where he wants a bedtime story, I can read a bedtime story. Actually, I'll probably be in college or like out of the house, but I'm gonna, but like I can tell him about this adventure, and I can have like real stories to just adventure. I guess. I
Yeah.
guess my goal is to adventure around the world, see all those weird places that see the tourist places, see the places that aren't touristy, see
Yeah.
why, and all that. And so I, like, I want to weld my own bike and sew my own bags and travel the world on those things.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You know what? I
Mhm.
think you will. I think you will do all those things. I think those are great goals to have. I mean, on a personal level, that's exactly what I hope to get out of life. I hope to be on my deathbed and feel like I always think about it in like saying yes to life. Like I want to this thing's falling out. My dad died like 15, 16 years ago. And
Mhm.
one of the things I took away from him passing away was there was a lot of things he didn't get to do, right? A lot of like dreams that he had that, some he accomplished and some that he didn't. And I took away from that, like the importance of saying yes to life, like right now, like when opportunities present themselves, to just say yes. And I've made a lot of questionable decisions in my life as like an adult raising two kids of like saying yes to things. But I do know that whenever I die on my deathbed, I'm not going to have those questions of like, what if,
Yeah.
which is a great goal. So is racing all that important to you, or is it more like I just want to ride bikes and have adventure, and I don't know, I could race, I could tour, whatever. It's like,
Racing is an excuse to adventure, but also in that, like racing gives me different adventures. It makes like trying to think of a good example. Like I've got um I take engineering classes. Actually, I guess this is just a side tangent. I take
yeah,
engineering classes and I've been learning to design and 3D print stuff. And so like I can build solutions to my problems.
mm,
So like for the tour, like I built light mounts because I didn't have one that would go on my bar because Night Rider's lights broke off, and then I warrantied them and then they broke off again. So I was like, well, I'm out of warranty. I don't want to buy a new light. Let me just make a a, a mount that attaches in an easier way and isn't going to break off.
mm,
So I made that. Um, so like even that's adventure. Like
oh yeah,
I get to build stuff. It's a new experience. But racing gives me those adventures of like staying up all night and and freezing, or like riding until 2 a.m. and then being like, whoa, it's so beautiful. Or like it it gives me those like when I'm just riding my bike, I watch the deer go by in the field, or I like do that. But racing also gives me those adventures of like I just I just rode for like 10 miles and I'm bawling my eyes out and I just push my bike up this cliff, and then like those adventures too, I guess, if
yeah,
that makes sense.
yeah,
Mhm.
perfectly. I mean, that's exactly I like to do both of them, and I totally get what you're saying. Like sometimes you just want to, you know, enjoy a campfire and sit back and watch the sunset. And on the flip side, if you're doing that, you're not riding at 2 o'clock in the morning and, seeing the wildlife that's out at 2 o'clock in the morning, or seeing that, what is it like to like watch the sun crest behind a mountain and you're cold and then it starts heating you up or whatever, right? Like they
Yeah.
all provide like a different flavor and way to experience the same environment. And they're just different adventures. And that's why I like to look at it too, is like, I'm an adventurous first, and I'm just desperate to have all the different kinds of adventures, all of them.
Yeah. So like I'm trying to get good at rock climbing because me and my buddy want to ride to Yosemite, rock climb in Yosemite, probably not half one because it's really busy, but do something else and then ride back.
Yeah.
Um, mm,
I'm sure you've heard of like Alex Honnold, and Tommy Caldwell. They do a trip like that every single year where they ride their bikes. I think it's like 14 different peaks, or maybe it's just they're doing 14ers, but they ride their bike. They carry all their like climbing gear, ride their bike, do a pitch, ride their bike, do a pitch. So if you're looking for some inspiration, Alex Honnold has, I think there's, oh no, I know there's a documentary that they made about one of their trips that they did.
my friend stayed in Tommy Caldwell's house, so I might have to make that connection now.
Bro, that's a connection to have, dude. And see if he wants to
Yes,
come on the podcast.
will
I would love to
do.
get. I've been trying to get one of them to come on the podcast and talk about that exact bike trip that I'm talking about. I think that'd be really interesting because they're not cyclists first, right? But like them using
Mhm.
the bike as transportation to facilitate their adventure is, I think, just rad.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be cool. All
I
right,
don't know
Cruz.
how much she knows Tommy Caldwell, but they stayed in their house, so
Yeah. Well, yeah. If it ever comes up. All right, Cruz. I'll let you go. I took more of your time than I said I was going to. What's on the rest of your agenda for today? What are you doing today?
so I got a new laptop case. So me and my friend are gonna deck it out in some cool paint. Um, sorry, somebody just texted me and it distracted me. Um, I want to deck it out in like this like Starry Night where you use spray paint and the night sky, and it. So I want to do that. So we're gonna paint my pedals on my new pedals, and then we're gonna paint this case, and then I'm gonna have dinner with my family,
Awesome.
like
That sounds like fun.
extended family. So it's gonna be super rad. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on the podcast, man. Like I legitimately enjoy talking to you. I can't believe you're only 17 years old, man. You're wise beyond your years, and what you accomplished is truly incredible. And like I said, I hope you take the time to, yeah, you can have a little bit of an ego about it, man. You earned a little bit of an ego, but don't lose that oblivion too.
I'll try not to. Yeah, this is super rad. There's people that I enjoy talking to, and there's people that like enjoy talking. Basically, I enjoy talking to people, and it was fun to talk. Yeah.
I agree. I like talking to people too. I'd love to have you on back on the show sometime. And like I said at the beginning, if you ever want to go to Texas and ride your bike, I'd love to have you at any of my races. I'll give you a free entry and do anything I can do anything I can to help facilitate you getting down here.
Yeah, so I'm sorry. I was peeking at the race a little bit at the
Yeah,
beginning, which while I still have you on the line before cuz today's not that busy, so I can hold off for a sec. But is this it looks like it's a just like a regular race, like a one day event. Like
It depends on how fast you go. So there's three different legs. So like East Texas is like 400 miles, Central Texas is 500 miles, and West Texas is about 400 miles. And so like the fastest time on East Texas is right under 24 hours. Like one person has done it in like 23 hours and 50 minutes or something like that. But yeah, it's freaking insane. Kuya, shout out to Kuya. But most people are either riding through the night or it's more of like a day and a half effort for most people. And yeah, my races are kind of like intentionally positioned as more like, I would say like a gateway drug into bike packing, right? Like I have
yeah.
like the low down, slow down, and showdown. So like we have a shorter option, a medium option, and a longer option, and it's kind of designed as a way to like springboard people into bike packing, right? Because like most people aren't like you. I don't know if you know this, but they don't just start with AZT or the Triple Crown Challenge. A lot of people will like start with smaller events and then they'll like work their way up. And the other, so like they are,
Mhm.
on the quote unquote, a little bit like easier side. Although I will say West Texas is it's an outlier like in this series. Like it is truly like there's parts of it that are like AZT level hard. Like you have to be really proficient on your bike. You cannot F around and find out. Like it is the desert. It is for real. And that's a real hard race. But the other two, East and Central Texas, are both a little bit more straightforward. And honestly, they're both gravel riding, so you probably wouldn't really enjoy it. I would just put you. I would put West Texas on your radar. I think knowing you, knowing your technical skills, like that's the one where you would be the happiest, and it's the prettiest. It's in Big Bend, you know.
Yeah. I'm looking at it. It looks rad. Yeah, I was trying to figure out whether it was like a how long it was because that sounds rad. Oh, here's a loop. Oh, that's a triple lollipop.
Yeah, it had to. That route was so hard to make. It took years and years because again, the private property in Texas, like it's so hard to like find roads that aren't private property. So that route takes advantage of like every single available road. It's a little bit of a twisty mess, but it's pretty good riding.
Yeah, dude, that looks. I see like 2 parts where my Garmin would go crazy at. 3 parts where I would lose it.
Just like flat sections.
No, just like, well, yeah. I'm looking at the elevation profile. I see. I think the flattest elevation profile, or like from mile like 179 to 200. I don't think I've ever seen something like that ever be that flat ever before.
Welcome to
But
Texas.
then I also see like this giant climb, little
Yeah.
spiky climb, big
That's
climb.
why
I don't know.
it's like a little bit of everything, man. Like you will be bushwhacking through cactus. There will be like dried up royal riverbeds that are like super sandy. There's going to be like literally hiking, like hucking your bike on your back and climbing over boulders. And then there's also like champagne gravel and like pristine road. And so it gives you single track, it gives you gravel. It's like it's a good mix of everything. But those that long straight section, flat section, is right along the Rio Grande River. So that's why it's so flat. It's just following the river road.
Oh, that makes sense.
And sadly, that's right where they're building the border wall right now too.
Oh, wait,
So
but
I'm sad
isn't
about
that
that because if they do it, then that whole section, when you ride past it, there'll just be a border wall there instead of a river. So
wait a minute. Oh, that is right. Wait, is that the border?
yeah, it's the border. Like when you're
Oh
riding,
yeah,
you're like,
because
oh, that's Mexico right there.
that's Las Conchas. No, that's the border. The border's the river.
Yeah, the border is
Yeah.
the river.
Oh wow, that's interesting. Dang. Yeah, huh. Yeah. This is definitely interested me. I'm
Yeah,
like, you've planted the seed. Um give give me like
a year.
a year until I have time again,
Yeah.
and then you'll see me out there.
Hell yeah, man. Well, the invitation stands open, man. Go off on your wild, fun adventure. Finish out your last year of school with a bang, and then world's your freaking oyster, man. You do whatever you want.
Yeah, it'll be super rad. This looks fun, and looking at like the times, it looks like it's gonna be super fast, which I can always get excited about ripping, um, as long as it's not, yeah, because it looks, yeah, it looks sweet. Dang, wow. I'm kind of surprised that people are doing it that fast.
I
Like,
know. Well, I mean, I will say only 31% of the people that started finished. So the attrition rate was astronomical. Um, but I was also really impressed with how quickly they were able to do it. Not everybody did. Some people lived out there for a while, but yeah.
yeah, like, cause I feel like I do that in like two 2 days, maybe like the end of 2 days. I want to say 3 days, but I really mean like 2 days and 16 hours. But wow, dang, that's impressive. I won't. Yeah, this has sparked my interest.
Awesome.
Don't you
Well,
worry.
good. You sparked my interest too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna go be a dad, check in with the
Cool.
kiddos, make sure they're not killing each other. But really, dude, super cool to chat with you.
Mhm.
I don't know, you're an awesome kid. I can't wait to see what you do next.
Thanks. Yes, it was super rad. Yeah, I'm gonna go have fun now, or Not that I wasn't having fun right now, but it'll be a
Gonna go have
two-day.
more fun.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, it
Summer
was
never
good chatting with you.
dies.
What never dies?
Summer.
Summer never dies, nor oblivion. Oblivion never dies.
Right? For 3 days, summer never dies. But then I get shipped off.
I
Well,
bet you'll have the time of your life, man.
yeah, really cool.
All
Have a great day.
all right. We'll
Mhm.
see you later, buddy. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.